Hi, my name is Pimpisuth Siddhiratana Pandit, number 14.
Hi, my name is Visruta Lumonokot, number 25.
Hello everyone. Today we will be presenting with the topic Create a Healthy Mind, Body, and Spirit. My name is Tayanit, number 22. He who has health has hope, and he who has hope has everything. In this chapter, we will present guidelines to help you develop the most effective methods of maintaining your health while learning how to cope with daily demands.
Redefining health, connecting the mind, body, and spirit. The mind. It is important to develop critical thinking and creative problem-solving skills, good judgment, common sense, and self-control. It's also important to develop and manage your emotional qualities, such as a positive attitude, optimism, confidence, coping skill, and rapport building. The body. Peak physical wellness requires eating healthy foods, exercising, getting plenty of sleep, recognizing the symptom of disease, making responsible decisions about sex, avoiding harmful habits, improving your immune system, and taking steps to prevent illness and physical harm. The spirit. Peak spiritual wellness requires thinking about and clarifying your value and questioning the purpose, beliefs, and principles that give your life meaning. Spirituality may include your religious belief or belief in a higher power. Understanding the connection among the mind, body, and spirit will help you develop skills for coping the demands of school and work. Reports, deadline, tests, performance reviews, conflict committees, commuting, family responsibilities, and presentations are all part of life. These create a great deal of stress. Stress is not an external event, but part of a legal system, and it affects all aspects of your mind, body, and spirit.
Awareness and prevention. The first step in managing your health is awareness. You may not even realize you eat every time you watch television or drink several cans of diet cola while you study. Improving your health begins with observing your daily habits and replacing unproductive ones with beneficial choices. For cancer, if you can identify symptoms and early warning signs of an illness, you can take action to protect yourself from diseases. And the next one is diabetes. Several factors are involved, including genetics, but the rise in rates of obesity probably contributes into the increase in cases of diabetes.
Strategies for good health management. 1. Eat healthy foods. Control your weight and blood pressure and to reduce depression, anxiety, headaches, fatigue, and insomnia. Eat a variety of foods. Increase your fiber. Reduce the amount of animal fat in your diet. Boil or bake rather than frying. Cut down on salt and sugar and refined carbohydrates.
And for peak progress for strategies for good health management is talking about the diet methods. For example, the first one is Mediterranean diet. In 1993, scientists and nutritionists from the United States and Europe met to look at the traditional Mediterranean diet, which may have prolonged life and prevented disease for centuries in Mediterranean countries. The Mediterranean model suggests eating more beans and legumes than animal-based proteins and advocates using olive oil daily. And the next method is My Plate. The food guide pyramid developed by the USDA has continued to change over the years, and in 2011 it was replaced with a plate, helping consumers understand how their meals should be divided among the various food groups. Each color on the plate is tied to a specific food group. For example, orange is grains, green is vegetables. And the last method is DASH. It's designed to combat high blood pressure and is widely recommended by physicians. The dietary guidelines for Americans and the American Heart Association, the goal is to eventually eliminate the need for medications by eating a diet high in potassium, magnesium, calcium, and fiber, and that is moderately high in protein and low in saturated fat and total fat. Although this can be found in fruits, vegetables, grains, and low-fat daily, many consumers need help initially determining the best food sources and serving sizes.
Restrict the diet foods. Cut down on caffeine. A small amount of caffeine can enhance alertness and effectiveness for some people. Too much caffeine can make you nervous, jittery, irritable, and prone to insomnia. Caffeine can also be addictive. Take a multivitamin supplement. Many experts advise taking vitamin and mineral supplements for optimal health. Some recommend extra C, E, B complex, and A vitamins if you are under stress. Use alcohol in moderation. If you drink alcoholic beverage, do it in moderation. 1 or 2 drinks, no more than 3 times a week. Too much can risk for certain cancer, cirrhosis of the liver, damage to the heart and brain, and strokes. Drink water. It's important to keep yourself hydrated. 30% of your body weight. Choose water as your mealtime beverage. And drink a glass between meals. Also hydrate before, during, and after exercises.
2. Maintain your ideal weight. Exercise if you want to lose weight and increase your energy. Build physical activity into your life. Eat only when you're hungry. Don't fast. The body will burn calories more slowly because body's metabolic rate decreases. Eat regularly, 3 meals a day or 5 small meals. Don't skip meals, especially breakfast. Create healthy patterns by eating slowly and enjoying your food. Get help if you have a problem with weight control, eating too little, vomiting, or etc.
And for the third topic is renew energy through rest. Most people need between 6 and 9 hours of sound sleep each night. The key is not to focus on the number of hours, but rather whether you feel rested, alert, and energized. Some people wake up rested after 5 hours of sleep. Others need at least 9 hours to feel refreshed. If you wake up tired, try going to bed earlier for a night or 2.
Increase physical activity. Regular exercise reduces stress and strengthens every organ in the body. It reduces heart disease risk, strengthens the immune system, stimulates the lymphatic system, and increases functional capacity. Exercise to build strength, muscular endurance, and flexibility is recommended 2 to 3 days per week for building healthy bones and further enhancing health benefits.
Peak progress. Eating disorders. Most anorexics are white young middle-class women who have a distorted body image and want to be thin. Some anorexics are perfectionists, grew up in families with high expectations, and feel overwhelmed that they cannot meet these expectations, so they turn to something they can control, their weight. Bulimia nervosa is another eating disorder. It involves binge eating and purging through forced vomiting or the use of laxatives. It can cause long-term dental damage and chemical imbalances, both of which can lead to organ damage and failure, bone loss, and even death. Many people with eating disorders also suffer from depression, anxiety, or substance abuse.
And for the next topic is establishing healthy relationships. Sharing a good talk or wonderful evening with a friend is deeply satisfying. So is the sense of accomplishment after completing a team project. It takes sensitivity and awareness to value others' needs. It also takes courage to overcome shyness. The key is to see the enormous value of friendships. Friends bring great joy and fellowship to life. Life's sorrows and setbacks are lessened when you have friends to support you through difficult times. But sometimes I know we get so busy at school and work that we ignore friends and family, or we are probably shy and find it difficult to build friendships, or we approach friendship as a competitive sport.
Stress. College students face many demands, paper, tests, studying, deadlines. Coping with stress means being able to manage difficult circumstances, solving problems, resolve conflict, and juggle the daily demands of school, work, and home. The key is knowing how to cope with demands, avoid burnout, and channel stress instead of dealing with it in unproductive way, such as denying, ignoring, or repressing feeling or problem so that you don't have to face them, lashing out at other people, using alcohol or drugs, eating too much or too little, thinking you can handle your problem alone.
Life is a series of changes, and they require adaptive responses. The death of a close family member or friend, a serious illness or accident, exams, divorce, relationship changes, financial problems, and loss of a job all require adjustment and cause stress. Symptoms of a burnout: frequent headaches, back and neck pain, stomach ache, and tense muscles, insomnia or disturbed sleep pattern, no sense of humor, hopelessness, depression of moodiness, racing heart, appetite change, frequent colds, flu, or other illness, anxiousness, nervousness, difficulty concentrating, losing temper, overreacting, lack of motivation, energy, or zest of living, feeling of having too much responsibility, or lack of interest in relationships.
Learn to manage stress. For this topic, many people find it so easy to do, but some may think it's difficult. But don't worry, we can easily start from become attuned to your body and emotions. Give yourself permission to feel several different emotions, but also learn strategies to pull yourself out of a slump. And the basic one is exercise regularly. Or we can dispute negative thoughts using the ABC method of self-management. Helps you challenge self-defeating thoughts and replace them with positive, realistic, hopeful thoughts. Or we can rest and renew your mind, body, and spirit, not only through sleep but also through deep relaxation such as yoga and Pilates is a great way to unwind, stretch, and tone the muscles and focus energy. Visualization is another powerful technique. And the easy one is just breathing methods. Deep breathing reduces stress and energizes the body. And for the last one is we can develop hobbies and interests such as sports, crafts, reading, and collecting.
Create a support system. Express your feelings, fears, and problems to people you trust. Take mini vacations. When you are waiting on hold or in line, pull out a novel and enjoy a few moments of reading. Get up and stretch periodically while you're studying. Rehearse a feared event. Exercise and stretch the mind. Read, complete crossword puzzle, and play challenging board games. Make friends with creative people. Create balance in your life. Balancing between work and play is important. Set time limits on work. Reward yourself for finishing tasks. Develop a sense of humor. Nothing reduces stress like a hearty laugh or spontaneous fun. Laughing produced endorphin, natural chemical that strengthens the immune system and increases oxygen flow to the brain. Planned? Don't worry. Write down what has to be done each day. Set aside time each day to plan. When your time is up, leave the problem until your next scheduled session. Be assertive. Stand up for your right. Express your preferences and acknowledge your feelings. Keep a journal. Be honest with yourself and record daily events and your reactions. Get professional help.
Unhealthy addictions is the next topic. Unfortunately, many college students turn to alcohol, other drugs, or cigarettes to relieve their stress. One of the biggest concerns health professionals have about students is smoking or drinking every day. Unhealthy behaviors will only escalate your problems. And for the alcohol abuse, because it is a drug, alcohol can almost become habit-forming and cause changes in the body. Just one night of heavy drinking can impair your ability to think abstractly for up to 30 days. 300,000 of today's college students will eventually die of alcohol-related causes, such as drunk driving accidents, cirrhosis of the liver, various cancers, and heart disease.
Cause of alcohol. According to the Department of Justice, each year 37% of rapes and sexual assault involve alcohol use by the offender, as do 15% of all robberies, 27% of all aggravated assaults, and 25% of all simple assaults. How to party with a plan. For most adults, a glass of wine or beer at dinner is not a problem, but even a small amount of alcohol can cause slow reaction and poor judgment. Party with a plan. No drinking if you are pregnant, driving underage, or taking medications. No more than 1 drink per hour. No more than 2 times per week. And no more than 3 drinks in 1 day. Disease. Alcoholism is a chronic disease that can be progressive and even fatal. It can begin as early as childhood and is often influenced by peer pressure. A major life lesson is to think for yourself and be responsible for your choice and behavior.
Cigarette smoking. It is hard to believe that anyone would smoke after seeing the public awareness campaigns that present the risks of cigarette smoking. Yet 46 million adults in the United States smoke, perhaps the billions of dollars spent to promote cigarettes each year. The cost of smoking. Cigarette smoking-related diseases cause about 400,000 deaths each year in the United States, killing more Americans than alcohol, car accidents, suicide, AIDS, homicide, and illegal drugs combined. Cigarette smoking is directly responsible for 87% of all lung cancer cases. The Environmental Protection Agency estimates that secondhand smoke causes about 3,400 lung cancer deaths and 46,000 heart disease deaths in non-smokers each year.
Illegal drug use. For these topics, we have 2 examples of drugs. The first one is marijuana. It is the most commonly used illegal drug. Marijuana has many negative effects, including loss of coordination and memory and increases in heart rate and blood pressure. Compared to cigarette, marijuana users tend to inhale deeper and hold the smoke in their lungs longer, releasing 5 times more carbon dioxide and 3 times more tar in their lungs. And the last example is K2, or we known as a spice. It is a newer drug that also dangerous, even though it is legal in many places. But symptoms of its use mimic marijuana use, such as a rapid heartbeat, dangerously elevated blood pressure, pale skin, and vomiting. It also is believed to affect the central nervous system, causing severe, potentially life-threatening hallucinations and seizures.
Prescription and over-the-counter medication abuse. 1 in 5 people in the United States have used prescription drugs for non-medical reasons. Likewise, over-the-counter drugs are abused for the high or after effects. Drugs are abused for the high or after effects they produce, but often with serious consequences, especially when taken in large doses or combined with other drugs. Excessive doses can lead to hallucination, seizures, brain damage, and death.
Overcoming addictions. Addictive behavior comes in many forms, not just substance abuse. Just as an alcoholic feels happy when drinking, a food addict feels comforted when eating, a shoplifter feels a thrill with getting away with stealing, an addictive shopper feels excited during a shopping spree, and a gambler feels in control when winning. Abnormal relationship with an object or event and involves repeatedly using a substance or performing a behavior, experiencing anxiety, irritability, or moodiness. How to deal with addiction. Admit there is a problem and take charge of your life. Take responsibility for addiction and recovery.
Codependency. Even if you do not abuse alcohol or other drugs, your life may be affected by someone who does. Codependent people exhibit numerous self-defeating behaviors, such as low self-esteem, lack of strong, emotionally fulfilling relationships, lack of self-control, and over-controlling behavior. A codependent person may avoid facing the problem of addiction, denying, making excuses, justifying, rationalizing, blaming, controlling, and covering up are all games that a codependent person plays to cope. Or take responsibility for the addict's life. This may include lying, taking over a job, an assignment, or a deadline, or somehow rescuing the addict, or be obsessed with controlling the addict's behavior. They may hide bottles, put on a happy face, hide feelings of anger, confuse love and pity.
Emotional health. Everyone has the blue occasionally. However, sometimes stress and emotional problems interfere with your goals or ability to cope. Approximately 14 million US adults are affected by anxiety disorders, and there has been a 264% rise in mental health drugs use among women aged 20 to 44 during the past 10 years. A variety of emotional problems affect college students and professionals in all walks of life.
Depression. Depression is an emotional state of sadness ranging from mild discouragement to utter hopelessness. Each year, more than 60 million people suffer from mild depression, which is relatively short-term. Severe depression is deeper and may last months or years. More than 6 million Americans suffer serious depression that impairs their abilities, accounting for 75% of psychiatric hospitalizations. 50% of college students report they have felt so depressed they found it difficult to function during the last school year. Yet 80% who need mental health services won't seek them. Examples of signs of depression: loss, the death of loved ones, divorce, health changes, serious illness, injury, childbirth, or menopause, accidents such as car accidents, conflicts in relationships, loneliness, peer pressure or daily demands such as deadlines, pressure of choosing a major, etc.
Warning signs of suicide. The first one is excessive alcohol or other drugs use. Significant changes in emotions such as hyperactivity, withdrawal, or mood swings. Significant changes in weight or in sleeping, eating, or studying patterns. Feeling of hopelessness or helplessness. Little time spent with or a lack of close supportive friends. Non-supportive family types, rare participation in group activities, recent loss or traumatic or stressful events, suicidal statements, a close friend or family member who committed suicide, attempted suicide in the past, participation in dangerous activities, a plan for committing suicide or for giving away possessions.
Suicide. More than 4,000 people in the US between age 16 and 25 die from suicide each year, making it the third leading cause of death for young people. Suicidal people think the pain will never end, but they usually respond to help. You should be concerned if you know someone who exhibits several warning signs. If you do know someone who is suffering from depression and seems suicidal, take the following steps. 1. Remain calm. 2. Take the person seriously. Don't ignore the situation. 3. Encourage the person to talk. 4. Listen without moralizing or judging. Acknowledge the person's feelings. 5. Remind that person that counseling can help and is confidential. 6. Remind the person that reaching out for help shows strength, not weakness. 7. Call crisis hotline, health center, school or community counseling center, or mental health department for a list of agencies that can help. Get the name of the counselor for the person to call or make the call with him or her. 8. Stay with the person to provide support when he or she make the contact. If possible, walk or drive the person to the counselor. 9. Seek support yourself. Helping someone who is suicidal is stressful.
Protecting your body. Reliable information about sex can help you handle the many physical and emotional changes you will experience in life. Although sex is a basic human drive and natural part of life, there are dangers, including sexual transmitted infections, unplanned pregnancies, and rape. Your level of sexual activity is a personal choice and can change with knowledge, understanding, and awareness.
Sexually transmitted infections, or STIs, are spread through sexual contact with an infected partner. An infected person may appear healthy and symptom-free despite public health efforts and classes in health and sexuality. STIs infect significant numbers of young adults.
Human papillomavirus, HPV, is the most common STI. Approximately 79 million Americans are currently infected with HPV, and 14 million people become newly infected each year. Anyone participating in vaginal, anal, or oral sex can contract HPV. HPV is so common that nearly all sexually active men and women get it at some point in their lives, with 90% of infections clearing up on their own. Acquired immune deficiency syndrome, AIDS, is a fatal STI. It weakens the immune system and leads to an inability to fight infection. AIDS is transmitted through sexual or other contact with the semen, blood, or vaginal secretions of someone with human immunodeficiency virus, HIV, or by sharing non-sterile intravenous needles with someone who is HIV positive, which is 24% of US cases are caused this way.
AIDS is most commonly spread by heterosexual intercourse. AIDS cannot be transmitted by saliva or casual contact, such as sharing utensils or shaking hands. Therapies using a combination of drugs have succeeded in controlling the progression of the disease. Although there is currently no cure for AIDS, there is help. Go to the student health center or local health department for testing. And how to avoid getting STI. Know your partner. It takes time and awareness to develop a healthy relationship. Ask a prospective partner about his or her health. Don't assume anything based on looks, class, or behavior. And no matter what the other person's health status is, explain that you always use safety precautions. Latex condom and dental dams can help protect against most sexually transmitted diseases.
Birth control. If your relationship is intimate enough for sex, it should be open enough to discuss birth control and pregnancy. If birth control fails, both men and women need to stop and ask, how would an unwanted pregnancy change my life? Many contraceptives are available, but only Epstein is 100% foolproof. Current contraceptives include birth control pills, condoms, diaphragm sponges, spermicidal foam, surgical caps, intrauterine devices, and long-term implants.
Understanding and preventing acquaintance rape. A typical image about rape involves a stranger lurking around a dark corner or deserted street. Although this does occur and requires safety precautions, most sexual assaults are committed by assailants known by the victim, and many occur in the victim's home. On college campuses, 84% of rape is acquaintance rape, 57% happens on dates.
According to the FBI, up to 90% of rapes are not reported because the victim fears retaliation and social ostracism, fears not being believed, and, like Katie, blames herself because she had too much to drink or wonders if she said or did something to give the attacker the wrong idea. Make no mistake about it, date rape is rape. 1 in 3 women in the United States will be a victim of sexual assault in her lifetime. All women are vulnerable to rape, no matter their age, race, class, or physical appearance.
As an act of aggression, a rapist seeks a person he can dominate and control. Check with the counseling center, health center, or local police for ways to protect yourself from date rape.
Preventive measures. The first one is make your expectations clear. Send clear messages and make certain that your body language, tone of voice, and word choices match your feelings. And the second one is meet in public places. Until you know someone well, arrange to meet where others will be around. And the third one is trust your intuition. Be aware of your surroundings and trust your instincts.
4. Takes your time. It is impossible to spot a rapist by appearance, race, occupation, or relationship. Take time to know that person before spend time alone with them. 5. Recognize that alcohol and other drugs can be dangerous. If you're intoxicated, you may not be able to protect yourself or notice the signal that should warn you of danger. 6. Learn about reading the danger signal of an unhealthy relationship. For example, pressure used sexually refers to people as sex object, drinks heavily or use drugs, and pressure you to drink, doesn't respect your opinions, possessive or jealous, want to make decisions for you, has a temper and act rashly, physically abusive, verbally and emotional abusive through insult or sucking behavior, became angry when you say no.
7. Be safe and vigilant. Make wise choices, use common sense, and do everything possible to protect yourself. 8. Get professional help. Report a rape immediately by calling 191, a rape crisis center, or the police. And that is all for our presentation on the topic, Create a Healthy Mind, Body, and Spirit. Thank you so much for watching.